if you can't tell, I'm excited. I'm here today with Damian Level from Christian County. Now, the reason I'm excited and one of the gratifying feelings for doing this whole entire series is getting to let older state champions, I don't say old, he's not old, but guys that won it in years past, get to watch their videos for the first time. Damian, this will be the first time you've ever seen your state championship video, correct?
Very first time.
When the first file that I got from the archive was the 1999 file, and I was looking on the KHSAA website, and there was a name I recognized, and I was like, I know that name, I know the school, let me reach out to him, and, is this you? And as soon as I sent it, he replied back in big caps, call me right now. So we got on the phone, we talked a little bit, and he couldn't believe it. Damian, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you for having me, Alex.
Now, tell us, how did wrestling find you? How did you find wrestling?
Back in 1991, 92, my uncle had always been at Hopkinsville High School with the great Placer. And my uncle coached a lot of state champions over at Hopkinsville. So growing up, man, my mom and dad got a divorce, and we live out in the country, and mom moved to the city. So to keep me busy, I played baseball, I played football, and when I was like 12 and we moved to the city, she wanted to super keep me busy, so she introduced me to wrestling. My other cousin, Sean Smith, he's a two-timer from Christian County, really convinced me. We were hanging out one summer. He was finna go to summer workouts. He said, man, why don't you come try wrestling? And I was built the same as I am now, and I went out, and I was like, I knew a little bit about it because of my uncle, but when I really got hands-on with it with Coach Parent at the time, man, I fell in love with it. So back in 92, I was 5th, 6th grade, was when I first really started into it.
Now, for those of you guys that aren't familiar with Kentucky wrestling, or even the western part of Kentucky wrestling, Hopkinsville, Christian County in the late 80s, early 90s, they dominated, well, even up into the mid-90s, they dominated wrestling. And we had Willie.
Yep.
You had, I think the Hopkinsville won the 3 team titles. Christian County's won one back in the 80s. I was looking before I got here. It looks like there's about 4 miles, give or take, between Christian County and Hopkinsville.
High school.
The school.
Yeah.
Hoptown. What makes that part of the state such a wrestling hub?
We had, I named 2 great coaches from Hopkinsville and one from county, but Jim Perrin started it over at Christian County, and he was one of my first middle school coaches for football. Okay. Just hard-nosed old school. My uncle, military, Marines, hard-nosed old school. Placer from Hoptown, hard-nosed old school. You know, those guys didn't take anything for granted. Right. What they meant, what they said, what they did, they meant it. So in that era of wrestling in Hopkinsville and Christian County, I think we were just brought up around a lot of athletes, and if you wasn't in the inner pool of getting better, you wasn't going to be good at it. And we were all competitors back then. So growing up watching Willie, Livingston, Miguel, I mean, all the way down to Jared Trice. A lot of people might not remember him.
I remember the name.
Yeah. We had a lot of veterans coming up. So back then we had role models that we looked up to. And when I used to watch Willie Ingalls wrestle, it was like, man, I want to be like that. That's what it was for us back in the day in Hopkinsville.
That dude, from what I've been told, I haven't got any video on him, but what I've been told, that dude was absolute just monster on the mats.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about Damian's here. 145 pounds, 1999. Now, your first round, you actually wrestled a teammate of mine from Johnson Central, John Wayne Daniels. You won that by a fall, 1 minute and 55 seconds. In your quarters, you wrestled Brian Chase from Louisville Eastern. You won that by a 9-3 decision. Your semifinals, you wrestled Jeremiah Gyron from Connor, and he ended up placing 3rd that year. Jeremiah did. You won a 8-4 decision. In the finals, you wrestled Philip Rose from Wayne County. Now, we're not going to tell you what happens, But Wayne County had a really good team that year. I think they had 3 in the finals. They had the 275, Chris Floyd, 215, and then, of course, the 145. But I like to ask everybody this question because everybody has such a great answer, great philosophy on coaching, how you're brought up. You win your semifinals match. There's about a 4 to 6 hour gap, like I do with everybody. What do you do in that gap?
Well, as soon as I got through with the semis, Coach Johnson, our head coach at the time, was like, "Hey, you hungry?" I was like, "Yeah." My teammate Anthony Smith had just got beat that year in the semis in overtime, so I was a little bit in my feelings because a little nervous too. First time in the finals. The year before that, I made it to the semis, got beat in overtime, had to come back and get third. So we went out to eat, and I'll never forget. We went to KFC in Frankfurt. Stopped by the hotel after we ate. I didn't want to lay down. I'm not a nap person, so he asked me, he was like, "Man, what you?" I said, "I want to go back to the wrestling." So I went back to the Civic Center. We sat there about an hour or two before finals kicked off. You know, I had a white LSU hoodie, I never forget. And up there at the Civic Center, you could run all the way around.
Yep.
So I had to get myself really psyched out because, for one, I wasn't in no shape. For two, this was like my 4th tournament of the year because I got hurt at the beginning of football and tore my Achilles, so I didn't really wrestle the whole year. So coming back, getting to the state finals, man, when I won in the semis, I would psych myself out for that hour before, ate good, and I knew that I could not come back to Hopkinsville without a state title.
Well, we're going to tell you that, of course, he wins, but we're not going to tell you the score. We're going to let you watch along with us. Now, again, 23 years later, Damien, you ready for this?
Yeah, because, Alex, to have one son already, he's a state runner-up, and I have a 13-year-old that's pretty dang good. It is. I haven't seen it since 23 years ago. I can't even remember everything with it, so I think I'm more excited about watching it than I was wrestling at the time.
I can imagine. Now, I will say, Coach D from Christian County reached out and said, "Hey, we understand you have the footage. Would you mind sending us?" And we did. And I asked him and I asked Damien. I said, the only thing I ask is, try not to let Damien see it. Don't let the kids tell him about it. And I'll let you tell what you told me earlier about your team.
Oh, Alex asked, hey, you haven't seen it, you don't remember. And I told him, no. And my kids were very loyal. They wouldn't tell me nothing. They wouldn't say nothing about the film. They watched it. They just keep looking at me. And my nephew, D, he told me, he was like, "Well, I think Booby, my 13-year-old, he said, man, I think he would have got you back then." And I just told Alex, I said, yeah, technical, they probably would, but physicality, no, I think I would have smothered him.
All right, enough talking. Let's do it.
All right.
All right, you guys are seeing what we're seeing. Damien Level. I do want to get his name right. Christian County, February 20th, 1999, KHSAA wrestling champion, 145 pounds. We'll hit the space bar, man. We're on. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. All right. Do you remember being under the lights?
Yeah, I do remember. That's something that I've always wanted to do, was wrestle under them lights.
You did it, man. All right. So, you got, like, you're trying to work like some unders, shoots in, we go out of bounds. What was your bread and butter takedown?
Just a takedown.
Just a
simple single leg, double leg. We kept it fundamentally sound back in the day.
Now, for those that don't know, you still have this singlet, correct?
Yes, yes.
And I think it gets, there we go. 1, 2. Oh, yep, 2 near fall and 2 takedowns. So we're at 4-0. All right, start. Injury time. Do you remember?
I don't actually remember, but I tell you this. I do like what I just seen with that head block. Kids, they thought they were the only ones that was taught that, you know. But yeah, exactly. I don't exactly remember what it was. I probably was more tired than anything. I was adrenaline flowing.
I feel you. All right, you're going optional start.
Yeah.
Was you a big optional start guy?
Well, I wasn't going to burn a whole lot on my riding. Wasn't that good on riding. We were just more physical. I wanted to be on my feet.
Well, we're neutral. We're neutral. I got you. We're neutral. There we go. Get him up. Now, there you go. What are we working here?
More than likely, me personally, I probably was just trying to keep him from getting in on that leg. I'm one of those. I'm right there now. Right there, I'm looking for that front headlock to the under. I want to challenge that to this back.
I got you.
That's something I was. If I could get rid of you, I want to get rid of you. I didn't have a lot of energy to burn.
Listen, I completely understand.
Because back then we used a lot of strength, man, more than technique. So, we would use that strength. And, I look at us right there, and I'm like, man, we were some big 145s compared to what we see now.
You're a monster 145 here. Monster. Just by looking at it on the film.
Yeah. Phillip wasn't no little guy, man.
No,
Phillip was a nice-sized kid.
I don't think I've ever met Phillip, but I can tell just by just body size.
Yeah,
you guys are big.
Nice-sized kid, man.
There you go. Back off. Got a pretty good sprawl now. I think they's got you for stalling.
Yeah.
All right, at the end of the period, he defers.
I think I chose down.
You want to take down. All right. So what's your go-to escape here?
Explode, wrist control. Come up. Let's come up.
Got you.
We would hit a Granby if we got into the situational of he's riding. If I knew a kid liked to throw the legs in, I would try to create separation with a Granby roll or something.
I got you.
But other than that, man, just the fundamentals, get a wrist, and let's try to get to our feet.
That's something that I've noticed with these series. We're talking about it off camera. Is your early 2000s, 90s, 80s, below, it was, let's try a move. If we don't get it, we're not going to chain. We're going to kind of reset, do something else. That's top, bottom, and neutral. But now, the wrestlers we have now, going for it. When you're up in there, what are you thinking?
Oh, let's get to our feet.
Let's do it, right?
Let's get to our feet. Let's try to find our balance. And if you notice when he did lift me, as soon as I hit my feet, I'm quick on my hips.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to teach that nowadays with our kids is, good hips.
Mm-hmm. All right, there you go. Trying to, you got that wrist control.
I'm looking for a 2-on-1 right there.
There you go. Lift. Trying for that trip. Did you remember hearing the fans? You remember hearing the crowd? Or
couldn't hear absolutely nothing.
Right. 2. That should be what, 6-1 now, I believe.
Yeah. I don't remember hearing the crowd. I think that's what was more exciting is hearing it now.
Mm-hmm.
I block just finals matches. I've always blocked everything out. And you hear our mat mates back then. I tried to tell the guys it was hard to lose in front of them girls. And now that you wouldn't believe this, my wife of 23 years, she was my mat mate back in high school.
I'd say this match had a lot to do with it, probably.
No, I had her before this match.
Okay, well.
We was together before this match.
All right.
And actually, she graduated the year before me. She graduated in 98. So actually, I asked her not to come to the state tournament that year,
really?
My senior year. Yeah, I just told her and my dad, I felt like I just wanted to see if I can go up here and get it, man.
All right, so we got took down. What's your straight stand-up, wrist control, boom up, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to – that was what we was taught, get a wrist. You control. The name of the game with me was control. I think I figured out if I could control those hands and wrists, I can keep you from putting a half on, a cradle, or doing things. I know a lot of times catch myself. He had a great tight waist on me right there.
Yeah.
Looking for that bar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you reach back for that switch.
Switch.
Here we go. Oh. All right. That was smart. Realized you couldn't get it. Okay, let's try something else.
Third period.
Yep, end of the period. He's going to take down. Now, earlier you said you didn't get to wrestle. Was you just, just kind of say, hey,
Oh, no, I'm tired.
right,
Wrestling.
injury, Greg?
Yep. Wrestling, I wrestled the first tournament of the year. My Achilles, it just never would heal, man. And I didn't go back in the room till the end of the year. Coach Johnson gave me a call and was like, son, it's going to be districts. Would you like an opportunity for a state title? You've been around the program forever. I think you deserve one. And, hey, I jumped up off the couch, did what little bit of in shape I could get in. And that's why I try to tell the kids, I think it was more just hard, determination, something I wanted.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Is I want this. I don't have it. I'm going to do what I got to do to take it.
Yep. And I think a lot of kids, coaches ask, why am I so aggressive coaching, hollering and in the match? It's because, Alex, I left a lot out there, man. And that's one thing I've always promised myself when I got into coaching was I'm going to make sure I don't let kids leave anything out there.
Right.
You go and get it. And I tell the kids all the time, they have 2 times a work ethic than what we got. They bust their butt. I think we were just brutes.
Yeah.
We had tough upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think we had tough upbringing.
There we go. Lift. There we go. We got that's 2. We're out.
Yep.
All right.
That's just brute, just determination, strength.
That's it. I want this more than the other guy.
Yep.
She'll start again.
I gave him almost all his points.
Now, if you were never in the dungeon, some of the we got stalling again.
I gave up a point for stalling.
There was some years they used like the mat side clock, and then some years they used the scoreboards.
Yeah.
Did they use the scoreboards your year?
I think that year they did have them on the walls right before you go in the tunnel.
Exactly. Do you remember looking up and saying, okay, I've only got, I'm ahead. I've got this many seconds left or short time in the match?
I think right about at this point I knew if I could suck it up enough, I could end the match. So
I feel you.
That's what I did, man. Like I said, it's been 23 years watching it. I think I held on just enough. I got hit for stalling, but I think I took more shots than he did, if anything. But hey, all that matters is what happens at the end.
That's it. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. We're out, we're neutral. All right. You got good hand defense.
Yes, that's one thing we was taught. That's the match.
That's it. That's it. Shake hands, get the hand raised. Winner, decision, 9-7.
And I gave him a lot of points, man.
You did.
But hey, it was a great experience. First time seeing it. Something I'm so glad to be able to see. I haven't seen it since I actually wrestled it, and to have kids that wanted to do the sport. I never asked my boys to do this sport, so to be able to now, my youngest one that's seen it, now I'm gonna be able to show Dion.
Yep.
He's off at Marriott College, so I'll be able to show him. Actually, me and him, he got more technique on his feet than I did, but we actually wrestled pretty much the same. It's just a blessing to have it, Alex. It's a blessing of what you're doing for the state of Kentucky. I think a lot of men is really honored for you doing this, man. It means a lot.
That on the way up in the elevator is what I don't want to tell you who's next. I don't want to spoil the soup here. Me and Damien and another person you're going to see shortly was talking about doing the series and getting hands on all the videos. Is I love doing this. I love meeting guys, letting men see their videos they've never seen before. To me, that's more gratifying than getting to do the series. People like Damian, people like Joey Stepp, you guys saw in an earlier video, Bruce Stepp, these guys have never seen their videos. And if we can, give you guys, I don't want to say a glimpse into your glory days, but the validation to people, hey, I was as good as I said I was, or maybe not now, but I could do it at one point. Like George King said, Dad could do it. Maybe not now, but Dad could do it. But thank you for taking the time. This is the state tournament weekend in Kentucky. I caught these guys right as they were coming in the hotel. They come straight to the room, done the video. I can't thank you enough.
Man, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We've got more Hoptown, Christian County videos coming, I promise. The next two videos below this one, you guys need to watch in the playlist, especially if you're from Hoptown, Christian County. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Just follow the playlist down, and we'll see you guys on the mats.